Welcome to 8.2. We're going to use the slope of a ramp that we learned in the last lesson to find the slope of rays which lie on top of it. So let's remind ourselves how to find the slope of a ramp, right? The slope is the rise, how much it goes up, that's what rise means, over the run, how much it runs along the bottom. So the first one is 0 over 7. It starts here and goes up nothing, and it's 7 long, which hardly matters. The slope is 0. This one rises up 2. It's not just, I know it seems like, well, just put 2 over 7. Yes, that is how you get the answer. But you need to know that this is going up 2, and you need to go, this is going 7 that way. And that will become clear today and in the next lessons that we're going to. So the slope there is 2/7. This one goes up 7 and runs 7, which is a slope of 1. And we learned yesterday when you see that, that's a 45-degree angle there. And this rises up 14 and runs 7. And so we always simplify a fraction, so that is a slope of 2. So how are we going to use that today? Well, look here. We're going to try to find the slope of this ray, that thing with one arrow on the end is a ray. And this ray starts at 0, 0. They don't all start at 0, 0. And it goes along, and you can see that I have drawn a ramp underneath it. And what we're going to do is we're going to count the boxes there and realize that this is rising up 2. So the rise is 2. Now, it's dangerous to use these numbers for that, and you'll see why as we go through the lesson. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it runs 7, and so the slope of that blue ramp is 2/7, and the slope of the ray lying right on top of it is also 2/7. And that's how you find the slope of a ray. Now we're going to go over all that again because there's a lot of detail. So you're going to need to draw a bunch of sketches today. So how do you draw a sketch of this? You don't need everything there. Don't start making all these boxes. That will drive you crazy, okay? So we're going to start our first ray at 0, 0 right there. And then the next good intersection is at 3, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So I need to make a point there. And then the next good intersection is at 6, 4. So 4, 5, 6. And that's 3, 4. And now remember, I'm not the neatest person, but these all have to come out in a straight line. And then the next point here is at 9, 6. So that's 6, so 7, 8, 9. You want to try to make these equidistant. I haven't done such a great job there. 5, 6. Now remember, and so then we should have 4 dots in a row, and then you're going to take your straight edge, and you're going to draw a line through that. Okay. And so that's just copying what I've got on the screen. Okay. Now what are you going to do? How do we find the slope of this thing? Well, what I want you to do is you're going to go to a point, and let's pick this one. And I want you to go down until you're even with the previous point, the one just below it. And when you get there, go over there. Okay, like that. And draw that ramp. Now I want you to think about this, right? This was at the point 3, 2, and this is at the point 6, 4, okay? I'm going to go over to my picture now so you can see it better here, but you should have, right, a ramp right here, right? And so I'm going to erase this other one because I'm going to need that space in a second. And so my rise is 2, and my run is 3 for this ramp. And so the slope of that ramp that I just drew is 2/3, and the slope of the ray that lies right on top of it there is also 2/3. Now notice I could have done this other places as well. I could have gone down here and over to the previous one, and I would have gotten the same 2/3, right? I could have done it here. I could have gone down to here and straight over to there, and I could have gotten 2/3 that way. The slope of that line is 2/3 everywhere along it's a ray because it has one arrow, it's not a line. Lines have 2 arrows, okay? All right, so let's try another one. So you're going to draw a sketch of this. So start it at 0, 0. Now this one points up more. It's going to have a bigger slope. be a little neater than I just was. Now this first point is at 1, 4, so we're going to go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, I don't want to put it there. I want to put it at 1, 4, so put it right there. And then I have another point at 2, 8. So 2 and then 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And you're going to draw a ray like I have using those points. All right, so now let's start right here at 8. I want you to go straight down from 8, and when you get even to another point, you go over to it and make your triangle, your ramp, right? These are right triangles, right? There should be a 90-degree angle right there. And this should look like just like the ramps from yesterday. Once you have a ramp, 1, 2, 3, 4, the rise is 4, the run is 1, right? A slope of 4 over 1, or 4 is the slope there. Notice, once again, I could have done it here at the first one, and that's in homework, you'll probably do it there because that's what most people do. But I wanted to make sure that you realize you don't need these numbers really when you have the boxes there. When you don't have the boxes, yes, you will have to look there, but you can't just read those numbers, right? All right, yeah, this was 8 minus 4, that's how that 4 was gotten. This 1 was from 2 minus 1, and we will talk more about that. But for today, you just have to look at the screen, count boxes after you draw your ramp. Okay, so that's the lesson. We're going to keep doing that over and over. Okay, so now, so the key to this is that you're looking at the points where there are good intersections, right? The line goes along, and that, right, what do we call it where two streets cross? Two streets cross at an intersection. And we want to look at the spots where our ray hits an intersection perfectly. There's a miss, right? We're going to have ones that go down in a second. There it hits the intersection, here it misses. So we're always looking where the ray hits a good intersection. Okay, so here we go. We're going to draw a little sketch of this. It starts at 0, 0, right there. And then try to find the first good intersection along there. Well, the first good one is 4, 4, right? That's really close, and that's really close, but those are near misses. So it's 4, did I say 4, 4? It's 4, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So right there. Then where's the next one? It's at 8, 6. So we had 4, then we went to 8. We had 3, then we went to 6. And, right, this is key, all right, that you get at least 3 good intersections before you start finding your slope. And the reason you want to get 3 is this, is that you only need 2. But it's sometimes tough to tell whether an intersection is good or not. But how you know you've done it correctly is that the intersections are evenly spaced along the ray. For instance, if you thought right there was a good intersection, you should realize that this distance at the top here is shorter than this distance here. There's a mistake because they have to be evenly spaced. So somewhere you've messed up. Now you have 3, you can see if they're evenly spaced. Once you know they're evenly spaced, you pick any 2, right? You start at a higher one, you go down until you're even with the previous one, and you draw your right angle. Right? This is a right triangle. You get your rise, in this case 3 boxes. You get your run, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You just count boxes, and you get a slope of 3/4. All right, let's try another one. So let's get our intersections here. That's a horrible little graph there. Let's try to do better. So this one starts at 0, 0. So where's the first good intersection? I'm seeing it there at 2, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then the next one, I'm seeing where? 4, 10. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so now I have an evenly spaced 3 points. Pick any 2, just to be different than last time. I'm going to go here, go straight down, and then straight over to that one. My rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It rises up 5. It runs this way 2. And this is a slope of 5/2, right? And you don't change that to 2.5. You leave it that way. The slope of that is 5/2. 5/2 is bigger than 3/4. And notice that ray points more toward the sky than the 5/2 one points more toward the sky than the 3/4. The bigger the number, the more the ray points toward the sky. All right, so now, this one does not start at 0, 0, right? It starts at 0, 2, right there. Now find another good intersection. So it starts at 0, 2. Then the next one looks like 3, 3, right? So then we go 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Where's the next one? The next one's there at 6, 3. So 4, 5, 6, 6, 4, I'm sorry, 6, 4. And the next one after that, yeah, my drawing isn't so good. See, because that's all, in my drawing, it's a near miss. But it has, 9, 5 has to be right because it makes the pattern, right? You have to make the pattern. So that is the line. Now, let's draw our ramp here. Let's do it right here. So I go down and then I go over to there, right? I don't go to 0, 0 anymore. That's why I was doing it the way I was, all right? So the rise here is 1. The run is 3, and the slope of that is 1/3. And it's 1/3 anywhere you do it. Now, something you may have noticed. What if you skip an intersection? I missed this one totally, and I was lazy and I didn't do what Mr. Ben said and get a pattern. If you do that, you can go straight down and straight over to that one. Right? You would get a rise of 2 and a run of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is what happens when you miss an intersection. You're going to get things like 2, 6, which it's fine as long as you remember that it has to be simplified. All fractions in all situations are simplified, and so that simplifies to 1/3. All right, let's try this one. So this one starts at 0, 4 up here, 2, 3, 4. And then the next good intersection is at 2, 7. So 2, that's 5, 6, 7, 2, 7. And then the next one, you can do it on the same one, or you can do it on a separate one. The next one is at 4, 10. Okay, so there, give you a second to draw a sketch. You go straight down. When you're even with the previous intersection, you go over. The rise here is 3. The run is 2. And so the slope here is 3/2. So notice, all of these are pointing up. And so up in slope is positive. Okay, so what is flat? I told you this yesterday, right? This is flat. All right, and that, the word for flat is horizontal. Okay, now, so what's the rise here? And this messes students up. This starts at 9, but it stays at 9. So the rise is not 9. The rise is how much it goes up. Well, it rises up nothing, right? Because it stays at 9 the whole time, right? If it was, say it was that, it would be rising 1, but it's not. Okay, it's row 0. It doesn't matter what you put for the run. You could put this 7, but you could also put 1. You could also put 10. It doesn't matter. The slope of every horizontal ray, and you have to memorize that that's what horizontal looks like. Every horizontal ray is 0. Now, so if up is positive and flat is 0, what does down have to be? All right, hopefully we're all saying negative. Okay, so now, this has a good intersection at 0, 9. It only has one other good intersection, right there at 3, at 1, 3. Okay, so I'll give you a second to draw this sketch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We had that one. And now the other one is at 1, 3. It goes like this. Okay, now, so I want you to go, same rule, start at the upper one, go down until you get even with the other intersection and go over to it. All right, but you should notice several things here. This triangle, this right triangle, is facing the other way, right? Every triangle, when we were jumping with the motorcycle, was always going that way. We were always running that way, and we still are always running that way. What's this is a landing ramp now. We are going down. All right, when we have these rays pointing down, we'll have a landing ramp. So the run here is still positive 1. We're always going to have a positive run, always. All right, so the run is 1. Now what do you think the rise is? Remembering that the word rise means how much going up. Right, well it starts at 9 and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. The rise is -6. Right, the slope here is -6. So it'll be the rise, because the word rise is up. So when we're not going up, we're going the opposite of that. We're negative. So this is a negative slope. It's a -6. All right, so let's try this one over here. All right, so we have that 0, 9 again. We have 4, what is that? 4, 8. So 2, 3, 4, 8. All right, and then it goes like that. And then we also have 8, 7. Okay. All right, so I'm going to draw it right there. So my run is always a positive number, always. So the run, because we're always going to run that way. You're never going to see a ray going this way for slope, ever. Okay, they're always going to go this way, to the right. So the run will always be positive. Well, what's my rise? It's not rising, it's going down 1, so the rise is -1. So let's just use a different color. So just to show that. And so the slope of this one is -1/4. All right, we're down 1 over 4. Okay, so we horizontal, right? This is slope of 0. Okay, and that's horizontal. What's the opposite of that? This. This is vertical. Now the vertical, let's look at the vertical. It starts at 9 like that other one. But the run here, it's at 9 and stays at 9. It never goes to 10. So the run is 0. Okay? The rise can be anything. It could be 1, it could be 10, doesn't matter, because you can never have 0 in the denominator. When you have 0 in the denominator, what's always the answer? Undefined. Not just for slope. Did I spell that? Undefined. I did unidentified. Undefined. Okay. So the slope of all vertical lines is undefined. The walls in your house have an undefined slope because they're vertical, hopefully. The floor in your house has a 0 slope because it's flat, hopefully. Okay. All right, so let's practice. You don't have to copy these. See, all right. So you can see that every intersection here is good. What does that mean? So you go down, you can do it anywhere, right? You can do it anywhere. The rise is 1, the run is 1. That's a slope of 1, yeah. So notice what happens when you have a slope of 1. It hits every intersection. And notice, if you skip an intersection and get 2 over 2, 2 over 2, still slope of 1, because you always simplify. All right, try this one up there. So that one starts there, then hits here and there. So let's do it right there. So I went down and then even with that one. My rise was 1, my run was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a slope of 1/5. Notice these are both going up. They are both rising. Okay, so now we're going down. And so we have one there, we have a point there, we have a point there, right? Notice they're evenly spaced. That's when we know we have the right ones. So I go down and then I'm even. When I'm even with another one, I go over. My run here is 2. My rise is down 1 or -1. So the slope here is -1/2. Right? And the negative always comes from the rise. The run is always a positive number. Same thing here. We're hitting every intersection again. But we're going down and hitting every intersection. This is a 1. This is now a -1. Slope is down 1 and over 1. The slope is -1. All right, last but not least. All right, there are intersections. The run is 1. The rise is down 2. So we're going down 2 and over 1. The slope is -2. right? This is the rise, and it's not rising, it's falling. The run, this is the run.